So, hello there everybody and welcome, it is Aniran here, and today it is time for yet another FIFA 17 career mode experiment, and today we have got a very interesting one indeed. As you can see in the background, there's been some alterations made to, or a singular alteration has been made to the Barcelona side. That is that they have got a 1 overall player up front, and today we're going to be testing what happens if Barcelona play with their normal side apart from they have a 1 overall striker. Now there's obviously still a lot of goals in the side, the likes of Messi and Neymar, but having a 1 overall player in the side is gonna bring down their average rating. So we're gonna see how having a 1 overall player or a box up front is gonna affect them. Nevertheless, I hope you enjoy this video. If you do go on to enjoy it, then make sure to smash a like on it, subscribe if you are new to the channel if you want to see more content like this in terms of experiments and other stuff. But for now, we're gonna see how Barcelona with the likes of Messi, Neymar, Iniesta, PK and more, how they do with the box leading their front line. So we've arrived then at the first game of the season. It is against Real Betis in the La Liga Santander at home at the Nou Camp if it was on this game, but it would obviously be at the Nou Camp. You can see the squad in the background with the box, the 1 overall player up front, and we're going to sim this first game of the season. We'll watch it a little bit as well, and we're already losing. We're losing already. Betis have taken the lead through Castro in just the second minute. This is genuine. I've got no idea how this is going to go. I've got no idea how this one's going to go. But one thing I'm really interested to see is whether the 1 overall player is more likely to score, given that he's around better players. At the moment, it's not looking very good at all. In fact, he's come off already. With 5 minutes to go, we're still losing, and we have lost 1-0 at home to Betis in the first game of the La Liga season. Second game of the season arguably is going to be even more difficult than the first. We're away from home against Bilbao in this one, and the box obviously again will be starting with Messi and Neymar on either side of him. Bilbao though lost their first game of the season against Sporting Gijón, and that game against Betis has got me thinking whether actually just having 1 terrible player is really going to affect things. But for now the scoreline is the same as we had against Betis, this time with the away team leading, but Marino has got one back for Bilbao and has equalised on the 50th minute. So with 20 minutes to go, the substitutions flying around everywhere. Messi gets his brace and we take the lead back and do hold on. Right, well, we're out of August, so it's already too late now to sell the box. Right, so the box got injured in the 3rd game of the season, so I had to back out and then go back in, obviously, to make sure, because obviously if the box gets injured, if the only 1 overall player in this team gets injured, then it sort of defeats the entire purpose, really, of the rest of the experiment. We won it 2-0, but the box got injured. We've redone it and we've won 3-1, so basically the same sort of scoreline. The Leganes are next up. We're playing them away from home, so we'll have to see how this one goes. We'll start skipping from now on. It is a win, but it's a pretty slim one away from home again. 2-1 thanks to goals from Messi and Sergio Roberto. Big game now though. This is basically our first proper test at the Nou Camp, this time playing Atletico Madrid. We're going to be at a severe disadvantage in the first half because the box will be playing, but Neymar has still given us the lead, although Antoine Griezmann has equalised straight away. But the game does end 2-1, Neymar getting a brace, so Barcelona do actually win the game against Atletico Madrid, although they were at home, which is a pretty substantial advantage. So for now, having the 1 overall striker up front isn't really changing that much in terms of the results, in terms of whether we win, draw or lose, but it is maybe shortening the amount that we win by in terms of the scorelines. Worth pointing out at this point, after 6 games in La Liga, we're actually doing very, very well, or, pretty well, anyway. We've obviously lost the first game of the season, but then won all 5 since then. So out of 6 games played, we've got 15 points, just 1 point behind the leaders Valencia. Okay, so that is by far our heaviest defeat of the season, and imagine the outcry this would cause if it happened in real life. A brace from Nani and a goal from Santi Mina off the bench mean that Valencia win 3-0 against us. Now, last time we checked the table, Valencia were in fact leading, in fairness. Now then, this is a big one. This is against Real Sociedad, who currently are leading the entire La Liga. They're winning it at the moment. Now, you've seen the results beforehand. We're at a pretty mixed bunch at the moment. We've been grabbing some wins, grabbing some draws. We have lost a few games as well so far this season, but at the moment we are beating the current La Liga leaders thanks to a goal from Iniesta. The one overall Barcelona affected side has taken the win away from home, actually, against Sociedad, which is a pretty decent result to say these guys are actually winning the league. league. So here we are. It had to happen sooner or later. It's the first El Clasico of the season on December the 4th of 2016. The one overall striker, the box, is ready to take part in this one in the sim. We're going to see how this one goes, but we're currently 6 points off the top of the table. The league now is being led by Valencia after we beat Sociedad, but once again we are winning a game 1-0 at this point after I've been rambling for a while. This time it's not Iniesta, it's his midfield partner Ivan Rakitic who has given us the lead, and with 10 minutes to go we're still leading the El Clasico. It was a pretty uneventful one, no red cards and not many goals, but we do take the 1-0 win. Right, so we've arrived in January now at this point. We're into the winter months, and take a look at the table. This is the halfway point of the season for us specifically. We've played 19 games and we are top of the table at the moment on 41 points, which looks very, very good indeed. But it's very much worth noting that Valencia have 2 games in hand on us and are only 1 point behind. So if they win those 2 games in hand, they go 5 points clear of us. So Valencia very much, although they're not first at the moment, are very much likely to be first and have quite a distance back to us when they've played those 2 games in hand. Real Madrid also have a game in hand on us, and if they win that, they'll be a point behind us. Also, on top of that, it's also worth noting that the box, or the one overall player, hasn't scored a single goal yet. Here's the league situation once again. 24/25 games for most have been played across this La Liga season, and we are at the top of the table. Things have really changed around a little bit. Valencia have gone on a pretty poor run, and we've gone on a really good run apart from that loss against Atletico Madrid that you've just seen away from home. We've got a game in hand on Real Madrid, who are currently a level with us. We've got a game in hand, basically, so if we win that game in hand, we go 3 points clear, of them. Valencia also can go above Real Madrid. We're only 2 points clear of them. Now here's your stats for the box, and I suppose they're pretty self-explanatory. 24 appearances in La Liga, 0 goals and 0 assists. Absolutely abysmal record, which is interesting actually, because we've done an experiment with a 1 overall team, an entire 1 overall team, and they would still score goals every now and again and get assists every now and again, but seemingly around other players, the other players maybe don't want to give the ball to box V2. There's a slight cheat that I'm going to have to do here because the box has got injured. The 1 overall player has got injured, but it's only for 7 days, so he's only going to miss this 1 game, and I don't think I saved before the last one, so I have to go back like 3 games, which would obviously be more influential really on the experiment than just doing this. So the closest thing that I could think of was to put Lasselson up front, but I guess this Suarez guy is probably even worse. So we're going to have a Suarez up front, it's just the wrong one, and it's a goalkeeper, and hopefully that'll have the same effect as having the 1 overall player up front. So here is how the table is currently looking. Some teams have played 30, we've only played 29 games. At the moment we are 8 points behind Real Madrid, but we do have that game in hand, so we could obviously make that 5. Jesus. So we have arrived at the final game of the season, just 1 more game to play. Let's take a look at the table as it stands. With 1 game of the season to go, we find ourselves after 37 games played in 5th position on 64 points, and all but settled really in that position. We certainly can't get into the Champions League because with only 1 game to go we are 4 points behind 4th placed Real Sociedad. Very well done to them, they've had a very good season. We are 3 points clear of Espanyol with a better goal difference of 4, so theoretically they can overtake us unless it's based on wins, but the reality is we'll probably stay ahead of Espanyol. So we're basically settled in 5th place. So with a game to go, we're definitely not going to win the title, and we're definitely not going to get into the Champions League. Interestingly as well, actually, the title fight this season has been between Valencia and Real Madrid. You know, we can't be conclusive about this because obviously Barcelona don't win the league every single time, you know, every single season on this game, but a lot of the time, 90% of the time, they'll challenge for the title at least, and 100% of the time, really, they'll finish in the Champions League. So, anywho, we move into the final game of the season in the La Liga Santander against Eibar. We're going to be playing them in the final game of the season at home, which should be a relatively easy fixture, although again, as you'll have seen, our form has been horrendous in this final sort of part of the season. Losing 3-0 at home against Villarreal was a massive pill to swallow, I imagine. It looks as if we're going to at least end the season on a positive note and at least secure 5th place for absolute sure, but the experiment officially with that 90 minutes expiring is over, and when you do put a 1 overall striker into Barcelona's side, they finish only 5th in the league, or I imagine somewhere near. So we know the Box didn't get any goals across the season. He played all but 2 because of his groin injury, but we knew he didn't get any goals because we would have seen it in the sim and I would have exclaimed about it. But he also didn't get any assists whatsoever, so 0 goals and 0 assists for the Box. He's even performed worse than he does in his own career mode, which is quite the statement. That is quite something to say. I think it's fair to say that he's dragged Barcelona down quite spectacularly. I hope you've enjoyed this FIFA 17 career mode experiment though, nevertheless, because it's been a pleasure to bring to you, really. If you have enjoyed it, then make sure to slap a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel for similar content like this, and comment about enjoying the video if you enjoyed it that much. You can also leave your suggestions for career mode experiments to do in the future, and finally you can follow me on Twitter. Links are in the description and my handle is on the screen. It is @theofficialfng, so you can go and follow me over there and see what I do on social media as well if you really want to. But it has been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
Come to the babe looking like gold medal this with Kurt Angle boots on. And I don't wear the boot on, but they got normal shoes on. Gonna like yo with the shoe from. Get them to the yo Uncle Jar. I ain't got a flex on no one. I'm the original Don. Come to the babe looking like gold medal this with Kurt Angle boots on. And I don't wear the boot